Hi, I'm Ange, founder of Pulpit, and I'm back with you doing Wellness Wednesdays with Tiny Devotions. And today, week 5, I'm going to take you through some holistic, healthy hair options. And I'm presenting from my bathroom, from my shower stall, if you can't tell that already. So, first of all, it's important to understand that almost all store-bought shampoos, conditioners, gels, spritzers typically have a lot of toxic ingredients in them. And the reason this is very important for us to try to eliminate is because when we're in our showers, creating this steam-like environment with lots of hot water, it's opening up the pores in our scalp. And what's right below our scalp? So we want to make sure that we're not putting toxic shampoos on our scalp that are going to seep into our open pores and sit next to our beautiful minds, okay? So today I want to present you with a few options, and the cool thing is I have a lot of DIY recipes that I'm going to give you in this video, and I'm going to actually show you a couple of the ones that I like to make myself. So obviously, first off, washing our hair, right? So I wanted to go through a couple of options. Now, if you don't want to go the DIY route, a brand that I really like is by a company called Acure. If you can read that here. Tip it down. And this one here is Pure Mint. It has quinoa protein, babusa oil. It's just a nice clean brand, so I do like to use that. What I do like to do if I'm using something like this, or even Dr. Bronner's castile soap as my shampoo, I'll add a little bit of peppermint oil to it because I like to get a nice little tingle happening on the scalp. So I personally use and love doTERRA brand pure essential oils. They're pure grade and super safe, okay? So that's really important when it comes to essential oils. There's obviously lots of brands out there, but I did my research and they were one that I decided to go with after looking at all the different companies. For conditioners, now I like to keep it really simple, and as you can see I have very long hair. I like to use just a simple oil. So I have avocado oil that I always keep with me, or coconut oil, and I'll literally just put that in on the ends and let that soak up, and the heat from the shower causes it to kind of work up the hair shaft, so you don't need to apply a lot. Oil, you want to go really just a little bit there. But what's more exciting than that, I wanted to tell you about 2 DIY recipes that I use and love. The first is a baking soda cleanser. So you may have heard of the no poo method. And basically this approach is not using shampoo and allowing your scalp to balance out and not produce as much oil. And really the more you wash your hair, the oilier it will be. So you're kind of creating this vicious cycle. So I challenge you to back off the hair washing. Now I left my hair purposely somewhat greasy for this video today, but I generally wash my hair maybe 3 times a week, 2 to 3 times a week, and I get away with it through this method. Now, my baking soda cleanser, what it has in it is simply 2 cups of water. You warm it up on the stove, and then you add 2 teaspoons of baking soda. Aluminum-free baking soda would be preferable, and you just melt that in together and let it cool, and then you add it to an empty bottle, and that's where I also take the opportunity to add some essential oils. So I, again, often will use peppermint oil because it just feels so nice on the scalp. And that's it. Oh, and what I should mention is you add this to your hair when it's dry, okay? So I hop in the shower, I pour it on, I kind of rub it in, let it sit for a minute, and then I rinse it out. My second DIY recipe is an ACV, so apple cider vinegar, and coconut oil rinse. So this is really easy to make. All you're doing is, again, you grab an empty bottle, and you're going to add 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. I love Bragg's raw apple cider vinegar. 1/2 cup of melted coconut oil. And what I like to use, doTERRA, the same company that makes those essential oils, they have a fractionated coconut oil, and it's liquid coconut oil, so it's defatted. It doesn't go back to a solid at room temperature, so it's easier when you're using it in applications like this to not have to melt it first. But anyway, getting back, so 1/4 cup apple cider vinegar, 1/2 cup of coconut oil, and then again, just your essential oils. So I like to use lavender, something with some comfort to it. doTERRA has a lot of different blends that are really nice. They have one called Serenity, which has some vanilla and lavender. So whatever you like there, but you basically put it on, you let it just soak in. Again, don't go too far up the hair shaft towards your scalp because you don't want to get really greasy hair. But that's a great conditioner, all natural. Moving on, okay, so there's 2 products that I want to share with you that I love to make. The first is my homemade sea salt spray. I'm going to show you this really quickly, how easy it is. So this is just a reusable glass spray bottle, and I'll put the links below where you can pick these up. But basically you're gonna fill this with warm water, almost full, okay? Then you're gonna take the top off, and you're gonna add 1 teaspoon of fine sea salts. Don't you guys love how I have all this stuff in my shower? Not normally. Okay, so 1 teaspoon of salts, and again, this is so easy and cheap to make. It's robbery that they're even selling things like this, but I understand the convenience behind them. I bought a lot over the years because I personally love that beachy wave style. Okay, so I've got the salts in there, and now I'm gonna add, again, some coconut oil. So for this, we're going to add half a teaspoon, and I'm using that fractionated coconut oil. And you can see here, it's totally liquefied. Okay, I'm just gonna add that in. And then I take a little bit of my husband's hair gel, and you're gonna add half a teaspoon to that, because that's gonna give it that little bit of a hold. So adding that in, okay? And you shake that up, and it's important because we used warm water to help everything mix together, that you let the water come down in temperature before you add any essential oils. So my water is now pretty cool, and I'm gonna add in, today I'm gonna use lemon and citrus bliss. So I love the lemon essential oil because it's super clean, has a great smell, but it also really helps my blonde locks. So if you're using this as a sea salt spray, going outside, going to be in the sun, the lemon will help to lighten your hair a little bit. So that gives you a nice little boost if you're a blondie. So in terms of essential oils and how much you add, you're going to add a total of 15 or so combined drops. Okay, so I'm going to add these in. You can see. So I'm going to do half and half. And the Citrus Bliss is a blend that doTERRA makes, and it honestly smells like creamsicle. It's just such a happy blend. So I like to add it to a lot of the things that I make. So I'm gonna add about 7 drops here, and we're good to go. And again, you would use this just like you would a typical store-bought sea salt spray. So I add this to my hair usually when it's slightly damp. And what I like to do is actually spray it into the palm of my hand. Do a couple sprays, and I'll just kind of run it through. And you can see here, it totally texturizes. So I've got a lot of natural curl in my hair. And it honestly just smells amazing. And it works brilliantly. So maybe I'll just do one side so you can see. It's awesome, guys. Just totally awesome. But anyway, I mean, I love DIY stuff. I love how empowering it is that you don't have to buy products anymore. You can make all these things. Spend your money on good quality base ingredients, and you can make so many things. And actually, one of the classes I have coming out this year in my online classroom is a DIY beauty class, and I promise you it won't be filmed from my shower stall again. It'll be a little more intensive and longer and go through all the different ways I make my own beauty products. Okay, my last recipe for you, and I know you're gonna love this. If you're busy like me, you don't wash your hair every day, especially if it's long. And I left my hair kind of greasy, just so you can see this in action. I'm gonna show you my dry shampoo powder, which is made with like 3 ingredients. It's so easy. So, and I've got it in my little shaker jar already. This is just a glass jar. I actually picked this up at the dollar store. You can find these everywhere now. And it has a nice little top on it. I'm sure it was meant for some other application, but it's perfect for this reason. And all you're going to do is you're going to basically mix 50-50 cornstarch or arrowroot powder would work as well. So 50% that to 50% baking soda, okay? So equal portions, that's it. That's the base that helps to seep up the oil from the scalp. And then again, always add essential oils because they're gonna help just make the experience that much better. And I like to use 10 drops, a combination of melaleuca, otherwise known as tea tree oil, and again, peppermint, because it gives a nice little tingle to the scalp. So once you add your 10 drops in, so you secure the lid on, you shake it up really well, and then it's good to go. And literally, you just sprinkle this on your scalp. I'm gonna try to do this on live television. Not working, so I'm gonna use the bigger circles here. So one other option you can do is take a cosmetics brush and brush it into the powder and then brush it into your hair. But I'm just going to be really quick here. So you can see how this would be perfect for blondes because it's obviously a light color. If you're brunette or even black hair, you can add some cocoa powder. Pump up the volume. Okay, so anyway, you get the idea. I can't really see what I'm doing, but this honestly works so amazing. And what I typically do is I'll lift up the top layer and just put it all into the scalp here. And it just gives your hair a lot of volume and lets you buy some extra time. And it really helps you to get off of the daily shampoo cycle. So anyway, longer than normal video, but I hope that helps you. I hope I've encouraged you to play around a little bit. In the links below, I'll share the link for all the recipes that I talked about today. And join me next week for the final Wellness Wednesday of our 6-week series where I'll be taking you through holistic beauty, much of the same as what I did today.